everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope that you're doing great today. Welcome to a brand new day. It's very sunny and bright here, even though it's getting closer to autumn, and which is my favorite season. I'm really enjoying this kind of icy light. It's kind of a different feeling. But I just got back from the UK, and I mentioned a couple of days ago that I'm actually dealing with a cold. So I've got a little bit of a, I call it my sort of sexy voice. You know, it's kind of deep and dark and it's just me with a bit of a sore throat. But anyway, I do hope that you're well and doing great. I want to thank you all for being here. You know, I say it every time, and I mean it with all my heart. It's such an important, you're such an important part of my life. You know, when I was traveling, I always had you in my thoughts and constantly thinking of ways that I could communicate things that came into my mind and during conversations with other women. And 60 and Me now is really honestly all around the world. I get people asking me about what we do and just fascinated by the community that we have put together. So thank you all for your support. I wanted to remind you before I got started, even with my tea, that you know, we have a lot of changes happening on our website now, lots more articles on all different topics, and we'd love your feedback, you know, on what we're doing. Are they topics that are of interest to you? Are they things that are helping you to make the most of life in your 60s, which is what we really did aim to do with this channel. And so tell us what you're thinking. And at the bottom of every article on the website, scroll down because there's a question. And the question is for you to share what you think about the topic and to have a conversation with each other. You know, we use technology to be friends, but there's only a few ways that we really can engage, and that's by engaging. We have to actually, you know, write things down and make a comment or like or share something someone else has said. So anyway, that's just my request, is to take a look at our website, 60andme.com, and all our other channels. I mean, you're watching this on YouTube. We've got lots on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else. Anyway, my cup of tea. Okay, so when I travel, I always pick up weird and wonderful teas, and there are some supermarkets in the UK that are very, they're huge. I mean, Tesco's, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, and for those women in England, they'll know that you do the most incredible teas. And I picked up this one from Sainsbury's, which is a brand store like, like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. They're in the States, they're big. And this one was, I have to actually read it, blackberry, apple, ginger, beetroot. What a strange combination. And I thought, wow, beetroot, ginger. And so I had a go, of course, like I do, and it's actually pretty good. You can see it's kind of reddy color, and it's fruity, very good. So there we go, beetroot, ginger, and apple, and what else was there? Anyway, it was a good tea. But have you tried a tea lately that's kind of odd? I'd love to know what you find. I know that there are some little tea shops all around the world, and what are you enjoying? Tell me about it. Tea seems to be one thing that kind of, it's a thread that goes through 60 and Me women. We tend to like our teas. Anyway, we've rambled on a bit here, but I wanted to talk about one thing today, which really is, specifically for women over 60. And we've chatted about it a little bit before, but just from a different angle today. A great article by one of our bloggers, Jan Moore, was about, invisibility. And she said, in her opinion, 4 surprising ways that having a cloak of invisibility can be a great thing in your 60s. And I never really appreciated that or accepted it until this last trip, because I didn't travel heavy this time. I only took a few items of clothes, and I was literally carry-on all the way. And I realized, surprise, surprise, no one really cares that I wear the same thing 2 or 3 days in a row. You know, it just doesn't matter. And part of it, I gotta be fair, part of it is because I'm an older woman and I'm not in that zone of attraction for the point of, getting married or having a relationship. I'm kind of just an interesting person walking along. And so it doesn't matter. And so when I read this article by Jan, I thought, no, she's right, actually. There are some benefits to being invisible. But I think I would always remind you, I don't know if Jan does or not, I have to remember, but the fact that your invisibility cloak has an on-off switch. So you can be invisible and enjoy these benefits that Jan talks about, or you can turn it on. I would turn it off, excuse me. You can have that invisibility cloak on off position, and you can be your beautiful, expressive, sexy, fun, alluring, person. You can dress up, you can look good, you can dress to attract. Doesn't matter. But that invisibility cloak is there if you want it. So it's kind of interesting. She talks about, of course, the youth-obsessed culture. And you don't realize this anywhere until you go to a city. And for those of you who probably live in New York City or Chicago or, Sydney or one of London, of course, you notice how youth-focused fashion is, trends, accessories, all kinds of things. So unless you want to play that game, and I do, I play. I play all the time. You actually don't really feel not welcome, but you don't feel part of the commercial game. But anyway, the fact is that we are in a youth-obsessed culture. But anonymity can be a great thing. You can wear it as a disguise, or you can wear it as a way of moving through the world in a way that is, just more anonymous and more fun. So, as Jan says, no more expectations. There may be ageism in our world, and that is not a good thing, where you're actually treated differently because of your age. You're not getting the attention at a shop, or you're not getting the respect that you deserve as an older person. But on the whole, there's no expectations of you being a certain way. You're, like I said earlier, when I go out traveling now, I wear black leggings pretty much every day. I do take a couple of pairs, but I wear a different top, and that's it. That's my outfit, and I enjoy, personally, that's me, I enjoy being an observer and watching people go about their world and their day, and I don't stress about what they expect of me. It's really interesting. And I think that in that way, aging has its benefits, that in ourselves, we are more confident. We don't have any particular expectations of ourselves. We know that we have lived 60 plus years, and we are doing the best we can. And that is it. For me, that's all I can do. I don't know, there's something about the workplace, I think, that does make you want to live up to an expectation. And maybe it's true, you are judged and paid and given your bonuses based on that. But as you get older, even if you're working or working for yourself, there's not that same set of expectations. A lot of people to make friends with. Hey, there's tons, thousands, millions of boomers out there. And if you are moving around in the world and paying attention to that, you don't have to be visible in the sort of traditional sense, because you are visible to those people. You notice each other. If you're in the same kind of general age group, 40s to 60s, we're all kind of in it together. We're dealing with aging. We're dealing with that transition. So remember, you've got lots of friends, lots of people to chat with, go up to and talk to, and enjoy. Another thing that Jan talks about is that it gives you anonymity. The invisibility cloak gives you a motivation to explore yourself. You're kind of going inwards. It's like having like a little protective coating around you that says, yeah, no one's really noticing me, and that's okay, because I'm taking time now for me. And I think, honestly, that's one of the big gifts of being in your 60s, is that you take the time to actually assess your own well-being, your own, your future, your transition into the next phase of your life. You're not having children after 60. You're not, you might have grandchildren, of course, and that's wonderful. But you're not defining yourself as much anymore by your children, by your friends, by your work colleagues. So you can be yourself. You can take on a new persona. And I like that discussion that Jan has in this article. We'll leave a link so that you can read the whole thing, because it's very useful. And in having that new persona, you can actually start dressing differently. You can start doing things differently. Traveling solo or traveling in a group, if you've always traveled solo, you can do things differently. And this persona, because of this invisibility opportunity, doesn't restrict you. You don't have to worry what other people think, or what they say about you, or how they observe your style. It's what it is. And it's not just your style fashion-wise, it's your style, the way that you talk, the way that you share your opinions. You can still be fighting for things that are important to you, but you're not, in my opinion, you're not feeling like you have to conform. You can do it your way. You can speak with your voice. And I think that's super important. And as Jan points out in this article, it's one of the benefits of being a little bit invisible. So wrap the invisibility cloak around you and enjoy it. And then when you don't want to have it wrapped around you, you want to be seen, just switch it on, switch it off, and be who you are. And I think that those guidelines are pretty powerful. It kind of turns the lens on invisibility around a little bit. So what do you think? Do you wear a cloak of invisibility on purpose? Do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy being a little bit invisible? Or do you still want to be visible in the world? And tell us how you deal with that sensation or that feeling that you might not be visible. Let's have a conversation. Leave your comments in the section below. Let's chat and see what everyone comes up with. Listen to each other's comments and like them and share them and support. And thank you. Yeah, thanks for listening and thank you for your comments below. Let's keep talking to each other. Visible or invisible, we are real in our 60s. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I really hope that you're well. We'll see each other soon. But take care for now. Bye-bye.